This is a poem that I wrote back in, actually it has the date on here, September 29th, 2000. So I was a sophomore in high school. I wrote this in creative writing class, and it goes through the entire first Back to the Future movie, and it rhymes, and it's 4 pages long, but I'm going to read it fast. It's pretty funny. Alright, here we go. The date was November 1985, and this is the story of Marty McFly. Marty got up and went to school. Life preserver vests are really cool. When he got home, he got a call. Doc Brown told him to meet me at the mall. The doc told Marty he's done something great. Marty asked Doc, "What's in the crate?" He said it's a source of nuclear energy to create the 1.21 gigawatts I need. He said he had a DeLorean that could travel through time to see if it worked to use his dog Einstein. To make time travel possible, use the flux capacitor. Go 88 miles, not any faster. Doc stole the plutonium from Libyan terrorists. Too bad he wasn't wearing his bulletproof vest. The Libyans found him. They shot him dead. Marty should have helped him. They drove away instead. Or he drove away instead. Sorry. He took the car. He started to drive. He ended up in 1955. Marty ran the car into a barn. He was shot at by the owner of the farm. He was in Hill Valley. He hid the car in some trees. He went to a soda shop and ordered a Pepsi. While he was there, he ran into his dad. His dad was a dork and Biff was mad. Marty's dad's name was George McFly. He does Biff's homework every night. George left the shop. Marty followed him about. He went to Lorraine's house to scope her out. When George fell from spying in the trees, Marty saved him from Lorraine's father's mercury. He was supposed to hit George. He hit Marty instead. Then Marty woke up in his mother's bed. He had no pants on, so his mother stared. She called him Calvin Klein because it's on his underwear. He ate with her family, and then he had to leave. He went to the doc's house, but the doc didn't believe. The doc listened to his story. He didn't fall for it. Then Marty said, "Doc, you fell on the toilet." "That's how you got the idea for the time travel," Marty said. "Remember, Doc, you bumped your head." The doc invited Marty into his house, his shack. Marty said, "I'm from the future and I got to get back." The doc asked Marty what he needed. He said plutonium. The doc said, "Beat it. Only a bolt of lightning could create that much power." Marty said, "There's some scheduled to hit the clock tower." So Doc and Marty devised a plan, and Marty had to get his parents back together again. Marty went to school to save his dad, but he found his dad to be quite sad. Marty wanted George to ask his mom out, but George thought she was with Biff. What's that all about? George was into fiction, and he had no self-esteem. So Marty came up with a brilliant scheme. He posed as an alien to scare off his pants. He told George to ask Lorraine to the dance. George tried to ask her. He tried and tried, but Lorraine was obsessed with Calvin Klein. She had the hots for her own son's pants, so they went to the enchantment under the sea dance. But Marty had a plan to save his dad. All Marty had to do was make Lorraine mad. Then Lorraine would hate Marty and George would save the day, but the plan didn't exactly work out that way. Marty was off playing Johnny Be Good. Then he looked outside, and there George stood. George reared back just like a real man. He punched Biff in the face and almost broke his hand. His parents fell in love again, so Marty went to town. He had to hurry and say something to Doc Brown. Marty told him he was in danger, but Doc wouldn't hear the rest, so Marty left him a note saying, "You'll be shot in the chest." Marty ran to the car. He didn't have much time. He waited to go until he heard the sign. Meanwhile, Doc had a problem with the wires, but he got them connected and almost set himself on fire. Marty got the car to 88 miles per hour, then the bolt of lightning supplied the power. Marty traveled back to 1985. The doc had been shot, but he survived. Marty went home. His parents were rich. Biff was their servant, no longer a prick. He's a big dork. He's no longer evil. To hear more of this story, go rent the sequel. There's Back to the Future 2 and Back to the Future 3, but 3.5 pages on the first one is enough for me. Thank you.